Greetings to all my dear students. In this revision class of the chapter Lost Spring written by Anise Jung, we will revise the two short stories which have been embedded within this chapter. The first one is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage, and the second short story is I Want to Drive a Car. So let's go ahead with the chapter. The theme of this chapter is the grinding poverty and the traditions which condemn poor children to a life of exploitation. So both the characters in the two short stories, they are condemned or they are doomed to have a life of exploitation. The two stories taken together depict the plight of street children forced into labor early in life and denied the opportunity of schooling. So through the two characters, we will see how this theme of poverty and child labor has been explored. The title of the chapter, Lost Spring, is a metaphor used for loss of childhood of millions of child laborers in India. Spring is symbolic of joy, happiness, beauty, and hope. Childhood can be called the spring of a person's life, and therefore the loss of this spring has been portrayed, which means loss of childish innocence. Lost Spring by Anise Jung is a description of those poor children who are condemned to poverty and a life of exploitation. So through these two short stories, we will get to see stories of poor children who are suffering and who are exploited by the society. The two protagonists or the main characters of the chapter, that is Sahibe Alam of the first short story, that is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage, and Mukesh of I Want to Drive a Car. They have lost their childhood. Why? Because they are carrying the burden of poverty and illiteracy. First, now we have to explore or we have to investigate that why are they in such a condition? Why have they become child laborers? So first of all, they are poor. They do not have access even to the basic facilities such as food, shelter, and they are illiterate, which means they have lack or they have lack of access to educational opportunities, which also generates lack of awareness. They do not know that they are being exploited. In their bleak stories of exploitation, the author finds glimpses of resilience. Resilience means resistance and hope. So, through these two short stories, the author tries to explore the world of these children and also to make the readers aware that such a world also exists. Not every child has access to food, shelter, clothing, and education. The theme of this chapter is child labor. Child labor is a condition where small children go to work because of their economic problems. Moreover, since the child laborers are cheap and consequently engaged in hazardous and dangerous employment, they are often vulnerable to mental and physical illness. Now, the main characters or the protagonists of the short stories, of the first short story, that is Sahibe Alam. Now, we have also read that his name is quite contrary to the work he does. His name means, its literal meaning is Lord of the Universe, while the work that he does is rag picking. So, it is quite ironical. Now, Mukesh is the central character or protagonist of the second short story. He is the son of a bangle maker. Now these bangle makers, from there is an ancestral line. Mukesh's father, his grandfather, all of them have been making bangles, but Mukesh wants to break this tradition and do something else. That is, he wants to be a motor mechanic. Let us talk about the main points of the first short story, that is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. The first part tells the writer's impressions about the life of the poor rag pickers. Now these rag pickers, they have migrated from Dhaka illegally they have migrated here, and they have found a settlement in Simapuri. So Simapuri is a place that lies on the outskirts of Delhi. So originally they were living in Dhaka, but because of some mishappening, they came to Delhi, to a big city, to find a living. But since they are not educated, the only way that they can make money is by scrounging garbage, by picking the rags. So they are quite poor. The writer watches Sahib, the protagonist, every morning scrounging for gold in her neighborhood. So every morning she watches Sahib searching for gold. Now, gold does not have a literal meaning here. That does not mean Sahib finds gold every time he goes to the garbage dump. It means anything that can be useful for the rag pickers. It is metaphorically termed as gold. So, gold here is symbolic of anything that could be valuable for these rag pickers. Garbage is a means of survival for the elders, and for the children, it is something wrapped in wonder. So, although garbage is the same, but it holds different meanings for elders and for children. For children, it is something that mesmerizes them. Every time they find something unique, they are uh, awestruck by its beauty or by its uniqueness. The children come across a coin or two from it. Sometimes literally they can find some money in the garbage. These people have desires and ambitions, but they do not know the way to achieve them. This line means we have read that Sahib-e Alam, he wants to go to school, but he cannot do that because there is no school in the neighborhood. So here we see that he has lacked to educational opportunities, not only because he cannot go to school, but also because there is a lack of infrastructure. No schools are there which would admit children such as Sahib-e Alam who are rag pickers. Now there are quite a few things that are unreachable to them, that is shoes, tennis and the like. So things which are fancy for the other people, rag pickers or children like Sahib-e Alams, they have no access. He does not even have access to shoes. We read that even shoes with holes is a dream for these children. And when we reach the end of the story, we see that Sahib joins a tea stall where he could earn 800 rupees. So although he gets a job where he is getting paid, although it is a minimal payment, the job takes away his freedom. Earlier he was living as he wanted to. Earlier at least he wanted to get education even if he could not. But now after this job, after becoming a child labor, he has lost all his freedom and his face lacks the carefree look that he once had. So this story ends we can say that it ends on a negative tone, that he has lost his freedom. He has become a child labor. Now there's the next short story, the second one, that is I Want to Drive a Car. Here the author, she tells about another victim of exploitation, marginalization, that is Mukesh. Mukesh wants to be a motor mechanic. Now, being a motor mechanic is not that difficult, isn't it? But why is it difficult for Mukesh? Because his father and forefathers, they have been engaged in the business of making bangles. So therefore it is very difficult for Mukesh to break this ancestral pattern and do something else. Now Mukesh has worked in the glass making industry as his father and forefathers have done. Women in the household, there is a talk about the women, they consider bangle making and their marginalization as their fate, and they just follow the tradition. They do not realize that they are being marginalized. Mukesh is being marginalized, and here we see a sub theme about the women, about the female characters, that their first marginalization is because of their poverty, because they belong to a low socio-economic class. And the women are doubly marginalized, first because of the poverty and second because they are women, because of their sex. Therefore women are doubly marginalized, or they face double discrimination by the society. Now, these bangle makers, they are exposed to various health hazards such as losing their eyesight as they work in abysmal conditions in dark and dingy cells. So here the working conditions of these bangle makers or the children that work in glass factories has been exposed. No care is taken of their well-being and therefore their health is severely affected. They often develop vision and respiratory problems because of working for a prolonged period in these glass factories and bangle making factories. We see that Mukesh's father is blind, as were his grandfather and his ancestors. Why? Because they have been working in bangle factories, in glass factories, and therefore it results in blindness. So burdened are the bangle makers of Firozabad that they have lost their ability to dream. The bangle makers of Firozabad, which is the setting of the story, all the people or the bangle makers living there, they have accepted this exploitation as their fate. They have been making bangles, they have been following their ancestral tradition, but in return they get nothing. They are not even to feed their families properly. They are living in utter poverty. But Mukesh, he has this courage to dream of doing something else. That is, he dreams of being a motor mechanic and driving a car. So till now Mukesh has this courage. Now it is quite possible that later on the societal pressure, it makes him follow his ancestral pattern of making bangles. But till now he can dare to dream of doing something else.